Okay, good morning. Friday, April 21st, 2023. It's Friday, something to look forward to. Okay, so this will be a short video. This is what I wanted you to consider this morning, and it's this. It's the skill of learning to see people the way God does. I think we've heard that phrase before, probably heard it preached about, that we need to see people how Jesus sees them. We hear that in evangelism tactics, that when we're talking to people about Jesus, we need to be gracious and loving, and we need to realize that we were lost, we're sinners. We need to present the gospel free of charge to other people, and because God saved us and He wants to save other people, and that's so important, and that is critical when we're sharing the gospel. What is, I think, can be just as difficult is learning to see people, other believers, and really people in general, the way God does on a consistent basis, even when it doesn't deal with evangelism. Because the fact is that we're all going to deal with hurt. We're all going to deal with pain. We're all going to deal with times that we feel robbed, ripped off. Things are not just, that there's unequal measures. We're held accountable to things that other people are not. Many times I've felt that myself. I'm sure other people have felt that maybe towards me before. But the truth is that we're all going to deal with anger or bitterness, injustice in some way, shape, or form in our life. And what will happen is that we will either become embittered and angry, hardened, just frustrated at people all the time, or will become softer over time. There's really only two paths that this follows. You even see today people walk around with shirts that just blatantly say, like, don't talk to me, I don't like people. Being very jaded and just openly, almost bragging, frustrated that they don't like people, that they are in the right and everybody else is an annoyance. I've sometimes maybe even shared that attitude, just feeling like I don't really want to be around people because they're just going to disappoint me. They're just frustrated to be around. And so I go back to that statement, learning to see people the way God sees them. So what do we know? Well, when you go back to Isaiah 53, it's this simple, short phrase that says, all of us, like sheep, have gone astray. Obviously, we know the second part of that verse very well, where it talks about Christ. He says, the Lord has laid on Him the iniquity of us all. And that's so important. We have to remember that all of the sin that all of us contribute to into this world was laid upon Jesus and paid for. That's the number one thing we have to remember. All of us, all of our sins were put on Jesus. None of His sin, but it's all of ours collectively. Mankind through history, past, present, future, every sin. What a weight that Jesus carried. We first need to remember that. He paid for it all. The second part is reminding ourselves when people fail us, when people frustrate us. Whether it's something very small, short-lived, like someone cutting you off driving, or someone cuts in front of you in line at a grocery store, or somebody's rude, or you have a customer that's frustrating, whatever the situation is. And even in those short-term things or longer-term things, long-term bitterness, long-term conflict that you have with people, remember that person has gone astray, okay, in their own way. They have rebelled against God in their own way. And so have you. So have I. Collectively, we've all contributed to the brokenness into this world. I found it so helpful for me to protect myself against that bitterness, to remind myself that person, along with me, is a contributor to the sin, the brokenness, the darkness in this world. Some obviously are going to have a larger quantity because they're unrepentant. But that person is a contributor just like me. So the next time you are dealing with frustrating situations, frustrating people, just remind yourself of that. And I think it'll go a long way, like it goes a long way with me, in softening my heart and not having bitterness. Because truth is, Christ took all of that bitterness, all of that pain, all of that sin on him. And that's something to celebrate. Have a great day and take care.